Well, hello there, it's Marie from Hayden.com, and I just thought it was time to kind of bring you guys up to speed about what's been going on. So, not that you can see it because today's kind of an easy day, but out of this right eye, for the past few weeks, I have been experiencing a lot of discharge. And let me circle back. 2 months ago, 7 weeks ago, I embarked on a challenge to just go down to one protein. I also chose to challenge myself with a protein that my body has been intolerant to for over 20 years. And what is that? Eggs. So 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I started to have some eggs and I also started to have some meat, and I experienced a lot of constipation, a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, and kept wondering why I was going through this process. Some would call this carnivore. I basically just looked at it as a way to decrease, inflammatory markers that were coming up for me and try something completely different, like just really radical, just introduce these things that my body hasn't been able to tolerate. Beef was another one that I introduced. So, I mean, I'm definitely somebody who follows through and powers through and doesn't mind a bit of suffering once in a while. So I was starting to experiment with that in, let's say, December. And then by probably about the following May, I was just like, okay, I think this is enough. And even like, I would say back it up a couple months, and I did integrate a few things into my system. But where I'm going with all of this is that I soon learned, well, maybe not soon, maybe several years later, I learned that oxalates have been building in my system. Now, you know, in a world like today where there's so much confusion around food, and you're talking to somebody who already has a restrictive protocol of foods that she can endure because of overuse of antibiotics when I was younger, my gut microbiome is not like everybody else's, so I already had taken out a lot of things. But I've also done a lot of intermittent fasting and a lot of healing. So where I am today, like I mentioned, 7 weeks ago, I embarked on this one protein, and this one protein was eggs. And I did that for 7 days and just about went mad because I love food. I love smells and creativity and cooking. And so I was super bored. So I was like, okay, I need to add at least one other thing in. So where I'm at now is I've been adding in a few different other proteins. I'm probably up to about 6 different proteins. And what I'm experiencing does not make sense, because some days I have regular bowels. Some days I have no bowel movements. Some days I'm in excruciating pain and I can't believe that my colon is intact. I have so many things happening. And what I've discovered is this is all because of a word, oxalate. Now, an oxalate's kind of an interesting thing because it's actually created for the plant as a protective measure. But no one learns about this. And unfortunately, there's not a ton of information about oxalates. And I would think for some people, they would find it confusing and hard to understand that it even exists in our body. But what an oxalate does is it crystallizes in your body. It's like shards of glass in crazy spots where you might already have a previous injury. It doesn't make selective choices as to where it wants to sit in your body. Now, some people will flush oxalates out. I mean, my favorite things, a matcha tea and chocolate, they're highly full of oxalates. So, I mean, I researched and I found that I could have 1/8 of a teaspoon of matcha once in a while and I'll be able to let that go out of my body. But what I'm more inclined to look at is just how my body was so quiet with all of this. Just little ache or a little pain that you kind of just brush off because you think you did a workout or you walked a lot or you sat for too long. So why am I bringing this to you? Because I think one of the fascinating things about our bodies is that we get to experiment on them. So I hope you'll join me over the next few weeks as I experiment and share with you the different things that are going on in my body, because my biggest role is to educate the people and help you have a better way of life so that you can move freely and feel comfortable and strong and full of energy throughout your whole life. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you stay tuned. If you like my content, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I've not been very proactive on trying to do regular posts of late because of what I've been going through and experiencing, and mostly because this has been like super gross in here. You probably won't be able to see it, but I mean, I know it's there. Every time I go like this, it feels like I'm pulling out a piece of glass out of my eye. So I'm here to answer your questions, so please don't hesitate to send me a message. You can also reach me through www.mariehayden.com. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you if you've experienced some unusual aches and pains in your body. That could be from oxalates, and I'd be more than happy to share with you how you can help yourself and feel better in your body. Thank you so much again, and we'll talk soon. RayHayden.com.